Don't go anywhere. Figure out where we're going next week. Stay till the end. A great escape room is not just about having amazing puzzles. It's also about having a great team behind it. John Hennessy from Escape Room LA has proven that his hard work and amazing team members are the reason behind his amazing escape room. A graduate of Emerson College, John has made a name for himself in the escape room industry by utilizing his experience as a theater director. From the moment you step in, you are greeted with friendly faces and your own adventure waiting behind closed doors. So let's see what adventure lies before us on Find Your Escape. Hey guys, welcome to the show. My name is Amanda Contreras. You're watching Find Your Escape. I am here with John Hennessy, the owner of Escape Room LA. John, how are you today?
I'm great, how are you?
I am very, very good today. So tell me how you actually got into owning an escape room. What's your background?
My background is theater, directing, and producing. I've also done graphic design. And my company is Race LA. We've been around for 14 years now. We do adventure races and scavenger hunts all around Southern California. So that's what I've been doing. And in early 2014, I read a newspaper story about an escape room in Budapest.
Right.
I never heard of an escape room before. I had no idea what it was. And then the light bulb went off in my head, and I just thought, we have to do this.
Right.
And it seemed like we were the logical company in LA to do it because it was so close to what we had been doing.
Right.
And so I got the money together and started looking for space and had an idea for the game, and we did it.
Awesome.
I had no idea 3.5 years later we would still be here and that we would have five rooms.
Tell me about how you started Race LA. What led you into Race LA?
Being a fan of the TV show The Amazing Race.
Okay.
Yeah, my sister and I love the show. We actually thought about applying to be on the show, but you have to take 3 months off, and nobody who could take 3 months off,
right.
would go do that. So I just kind of got an idea one day, like, wouldn't it be fun if you could do something like this in a weekend without having to, quit your job and travel around the world? And then I thought, well, maybe there's a way to do that. So I just started working on it for fun, as a hobby. In the first couple of years that we did it, that's what it was. So we do a couple of different things. Race LA is an event that's like a full day, Amazing Race style race around the LA area where people are in teams of 2. They don't know where they're going to be going next or what they're going to have to do. They have to do different tasks and activities at each location and get to the secret finish location. So we still do that once a year. It's very complicated, as you can imagine, to put together. So we thought, well, we have to come up with something similar but that we can do more often. And so that's when our second event, City Race Urban Adventure Hunts, came about, which are shorter, neighborhood-specific scavenger hunts where you just stay in one place, everything's on foot, and teams compete to get the highest score. So those are the two things that we do. And then in 2014, we started the escape rooms.
So what would you say your main goal was opening up your escape room?
To not become homeless. I told my friends, this is either going to work or I'm going to be sleeping in a refrigerator box behind Ralph's. I don't know, one or the other.
Right.
I mean, really, because my background has always been kind of like behind the scenes. I was never an actor. I always wanted to do directing or producing.
Sure.
I like kind of setting something up and then standing back and watching people experience it. And that's what I love about doing this, is getting to watch people experience the environment and the game. It's about creating an experience.
Right.
That's what we do.
So how does your escape room differ from other escape rooms? What makes it unique?
A couple of different things.
Okay.
One, our games are generally designed for larger groups. Capacities range from 8 to 12. So there are a lot of things to do in our games. If you have 2 or 3 people, it's going to be really difficult. So we can accommodate a large group at one time. You don't need to have 8 or 12 people. You can come with 2 or 3 friends, and then you'll join other people and be playing with them, and hopefully make friends afterwards. So that's one thing. The other thing is I think all of our games are really immersive environments. Once you go inside, you kind of forget that you're in an old commercial building in downtown LA. And we hear people say that actually that's the most rewarding thing to hear when they leave the game and they go back outside. They're like, oh, oh, this is where I was.
Right, yeah, exactly.
We also have staff inside each of the rooms in character as part of the game. Generally, they sort of hold back. They're not really active throughout the whole game, but they're there to help if people need help. And it enables us to give more personalized hints than we would be able to give if we were just watching on camera or using a walkie-talkie.
So you guys are actually one of the largest escape room companies. You guys have 5 rooms here.
We do.
Can you please tell me the names of the rooms, Their themes, and then do all the games hold 8 to 12?
8 to 12, yes.
Isn't everybody?
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead and tell me.
Okay, I'll tell you in the order that we started them. The first was the detective,
Right.
which we played today, which is set in a 1940s detective office where you have to help solve a case and then escape. And then the cavern is a mysterious underground cavern where an ancient civilization lived, and they've left all these strange clues and puzzles that you have to solve in order to escape before your air supply runs out.
Oh, cool.
And then the theater is the backstage of an old haunted theater. You need to figure out how to free the ghost from the theater before the next performance begins. It's not scary at all, though. It's actually very lighthearted, probably our most lighthearted and fun game.
Awesome.
The Alchemist, which is where we are right now, is the laboratory of an evil medieval alchemist where you need to find and unite the 4 elements, earth, air, fire, and water, and escape before the alchemist returns. Our newest game is the Pyramid, where you go inside an ancient Mayan pyramid in a quest to find the mask of the Jade Warrior.
Can you talk about the levels of technology in each of your 5 rooms, how they differ?
Sure. When we started with the detective, we didn't really have any knowledge of escape room technology.
Right.
And also the setting, which is a 1940s office, kind of dictates that a lot of the things you find are things you would find in an office setting. So there was lots of files and photos and documents and things like that. So the detective really has no advanced technology in the game.
Right.
And as we went to the next game and the next and the next, as technology developed in the industry, and as we ourselves learned more about what was possible and available, we incorporated more and more and more. Like the Alchemist, probably half of the puzzles in here are in some way electronic. Technology is not necessarily better in an escape room, particularly from a staffing side.
Sure.
Because we have so many things going wrong in that game day after day after day. And if it's a lock that breaks, it's very easy to just put up a new lock and fix it.
Yeah.
If it's a circuit board or something that breaks, then we need to call somebody and they're not available and we have to wait till it creates all kinds of
new
added problems for us, even though it makes the game a lot cooler too. So there's pluses and minuses to using a lot of technology in escape rooms, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Our next one is going to be all locked. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Tell us what you're planning for your future.
Okay. We're actually working on 2 new games right now. We're not going to add 2 more. We're going to redo a couple of our games. The first thing is going to be a really big project that we're working on that will be called Atlantis, the Mysterious City.
Yes.
And it's you're going to really feel like you're underwater, exploring the ruins
of
Atlantis. Yeah,
very
it's going to
cool.
be really exciting.
And when do you plan on that one coming out?
Hopefully by the fall.
Oh wow, so you guys are super close.
Hopefully by fall. We have another project that is untitled. It's going to be based on an area of old Hong Kong that was called the Walled City. And when you say the Walled City, you picture this ancient walled city, but it wasn't that at all. It was basically this giant tenement slum section of the city that's not really there anymore. But narrow alleyways and little restaurants and shops and markets, and so it's going to be that's going to be the environment. What exactly the story is, we're not sure yet, but we're starting with the environment. Usually we start with the story, but this one we're starting with the environment and trying to figure out what the story is going to be from there.
Yeah, that's a great way to plan.
Yeah.
Because now you have a feeling that you want them to see.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then the feelings that you guys create in each room. What kind of atmosphere do you guys try to make sure that your customers have?
None of our games are scary, so it's just not my personal thing. I don't really like scary things, so
me either. Yeah.
I just couldn't put my heart into it and do something that I think would be good if we did a scary thing. So we really all of the games are, I think, challenging, but not super difficult. The environments are all very immersive. I think all of them are really fun in different ways, and you have to use different parts of your brain in the different games.
Most escape rooms are known for doing events or having big corporate parties. What do you guys do here? What kind of special events do you hold?
We do corporate team building events pretty much every day. Sometimes our entire day is booked up.
Wow.
Like today is a very busy day. We also do a lot of birthday parties, especially on weekends, kids parties. 3 of our games, we have kids-friendly versions where we can make the clues easier for younger kids to solve, like ages 9 to 13. So we have kids games that we can do. And then in addition to that, in our escape games on Monday nights, we do trivia nights where the trivia questions are sort of based on the theme of the game. And then we also do puzzle nights where you form a team of between 2 and 6 people. You come in, you sit at tables, and you work together to solve sort of like, puzzles.
Right, but then you charge for those?
Yeah, we do. We charge for them, yeah.
And is it inside your rooms?
Inside
or
the rooms, yeah. Inside the rooms.
Oh, wow. So, top 3 pieces of advice for someone who wants to open up an escape room.
If they want to open it in LA, I would say don't. I think the market is really oversaturated right now.
Sure.
And, the last thing we need is another escape room. People are so confused now about which escape room they bought tickets for. We had a group come here yesterday. They had tickets for an escape room in West Hollywood. They thought it was here. We see that happen more and more. And I think we're going to see, especially over the next year, a lot of these smaller companies are going to be closing because there's just not enough interest to have so many escape rooms in one city.
Right.
So honestly, that would be my first advice. Find a location where there isn't one and open it there. My second piece of advice would be expect things to break that you never imagined were breakable.
Right.
Because it will happen.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had people in here start pulling shelves and bookcases off the wall where they're actually attached, affixed to the wall, and thinking, just everything. Beyond what you can imagine breaking, it's going to break.
Sure.
And so be prepared to have a plan B and a backup for everything. The third piece of advice I think is double-sided. The first one is make sure you love what you do because you're going to be spending 7 days a week doing it.
Yeah.
So make sure that you love it. And also, a lot of people do an escape room and they think, oh, that was so fun, I'm going to open my own. But you have to remember what you're really doing is you're starting a business. So you need to make sure that you have the foundation in place to start a business that just happens to be an escape room. Rather than starting an escape room and then realizing 3 months later that you don't know anything about payroll or legal requirements or all those things you need to know when you're running a business.
Right, yeah. Really, really good advice. That's really solid.
Yeah.
What happens if you don't escape?
Well, you're trapped inside forever. So hopefully you brought pajamas and some extra snacks.
And I want to work.
Yeah. What we do, which I think a lot of places don't do, and people really enjoy it, is we go through what the remaining steps were. This is what you still have to do in order to finish everything and escape. And we don't think, oh, we shouldn't do that because we're going to give things away, because we don't want people to come back and play a game that they've already played.
Sure.
Because it's not going to be as much fun for them because a lot of the discovery, the sense of discovery is not going to be there. And B, it's not really fair to the people they're playing with that somebody else is going to already know the answers to things you're trying to figure out. So we always say, we love to have you come back, but please come and play one of our other rooms, not the same one.
Not the same one. Guys, thank you so much. That was the end of our episode. John, thank you so much for having me. If people want to book your rooms or any one of your 5 rooms or come play a puzzle night, please tell us your phone number and your website so they can book.
Okay, phone number is 213-689-3229 and the website is escaperoomla.com.
Fantastic. Okay, guys, see you next week. See you later. Bye.
I got far in that industry and I decided it's time for a change of pace.
Yeah.
We moved here to LA. It's been a few years now. Love it. I would never go anywhere else.
Really?
I love LA.
Oh my God. Okay.
So
You're one of the first people that said I love LA, the traffic and everything. You love it.
everyone who lives here loves LA.
That's so crazy.